Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
Our replay sponsor on Livin Large Larry Live is brought to you by Keystone Mortgage in their new location, 248-7124. And you can check them out and visit them at 2442 First Avenue North. They're right across from the pub station in downtown Billings. Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number. You're our number one priority. Keystone Mortgage.
A 10-year-old trade agreement with Canada. Livin Large Larry here, KGHL News. The recent expiration of a 10-year-old trade agreement that imposed export fees on Canadian lumber headed to the U.S. has some in the Montana timber industry worried, saying that the agreement helped prevent Canada from flooding the lumber market with cheap boards. The agreement was originally supposed to expire in 2013, but was ultimately extended 2 additional years with an additional 1-year freeze on complaints or lawsuits, which timber industry officials believe will happen if there's no new softwood lumber agreement. As part of the planning for Bozeman's second high school, educators are debating whether to require students to earn more credits to graduate. Bozeman High School now requires students to earn 23 credits to graduate with a regular diploma or 25 to earn an honors diploma. About 950 Yellowstone County establishment safety inspections over the past 4 years are now online at riverstone.org. High-risk eateries are inspected twice a year, while lower-risk places are checked annually. Inspections are unannounced, and depending on the complexity, an inspection can take 30 minutes or 3 hours. This morning at 10:19, more than 1 out of 10 Montanans will simultaneously get under tables, desks, and random pieces of furniture. These actions are part of the Great Montana Shakeout Drill, the statewide earthquake drill in Montana. More than 100,000 people will participate in the drill. Each October, millions of people around the world participate in these shakeout drills as a way to prepare for earthquakes. A former Montana State Prison guard who pleaded guilty to smuggling marijuana and tobacco to inmates has been sentenced to 20 months in prison. Martin Reap was sentenced on Tuesday by U.S. District Judge Sam Haddon. Authorities have arrested a Billings man who they say was armed with knives and an improvised pipe bomb. A 33-year-old suspect has been jailed on suspicion of felony assault on a peace officer, resisting arrest, and obstructing a peace officer. And sports, the American League Championship Series continues after the Toronto Blue Jays avoided a 4-game sweep in a 5-1 win against the Cleveland Indians. Aaron Sanchez held the Indians to a run and 2 hits over 6 innings while outpitching Corey Kluber, who was reached for 2 runs while pitching on short rest for the first time in his career. Rich Hill worked 6 innings, and the Los Angeles Dodgers homered twice in his 6-0 rout of the Chicago Cubs in Game 3 of the NL Championship Series on Tuesday night. Hill gave up just 2 hits as the Dodgers took a 2-1 lead in that series. State and regional news and sports, the mighty 790 AM and 94.7 FM, KGHL. Senator Steve Daines' bill to support Native children has been signed into law by President Obama. The act creates a commission on Native children, which will conduct a comprehensive study on the programs, grants, and supports available for Native children. Northwestern Energy has knocked about $220 million off of its 2016 taxable value in negotiations with the Department of Revenue. Before the settlement, Northwestern was looking at about $163 million worth of a tax bill, but its final bill was about $134 million. It's unclear what the effect will be on local tax jurisdictions across Montana because some of the areas have more Northwestern infrastructure as a larger portion of their tax base, which would result in a larger financial impact. An online petition with more than 12,000 signatures calling for the impeachment of a Montana judge over the sentencing of a 40-year-old man to 60 days in jail in an incest case involving a 12-year-old girl has been sent to the state's governor. The man was sentenced to the jail time plus a 30-year suspended prison term last week as part of a plea deal with prosecutors out of Glasgow. Republican candidate Greg Gianforte says he'll temporarily halt state agency rulemaking and new state contracts worth more than $1 million if he's elected governor. In Bozeman, several former employees of Gianforte's Right Now Technologies defended what they called unfair attacks on the company's labor practices by Bullock and the Democrats. And a man who helped his wife abduct 3 children from state custody has been given a deferred sentence. 35-year-old Donald Stratton on Monday was given a 3-year deferred sentence for custodial interference. The Green Bay Packers have addressed a need at running back by getting Neil Davis from the Kansas City Chiefs for a conditional draft pick. The Packers are in desperate need of a running back, with James Starks undergoing knee surgery, Eddie Lacy nursing an ankle injury. Davis should be fresh after carrying just 29 times for 70 yards and a TD the past 2 seasons combined. The World Golf Hall of Fame is going to add 5 new members next year. The class of 2017 includes golfers Ian Woosnam, Davis Love III, Meg Mallon, and Lorena Ochoa, along with longtime British reporter Henry Longhurst. The induction will be September 26th in New York City. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox will issue a legal opinion about Missoula's new gun purchase background check ordinance. It's out. It mandates a background check for gun sales between private parties and city limits, and with a limited number of exceptions. Montana law requires a person convicted of raping a child to serve a minimum of 4 years in prison, but an exception allows a judge to decline a prison sentence if a psychosexual evaluator recommends community placement. That's what Glasgow judge John McKeon sentenced Martin Blake to for raping a 12-year-old girl. As of Tuesday, an online petition seeking to have him impeached reached 16,000 signatures. According to a poll out, Mason-Dixon poll commissioned by Lee Newspapers, many Montanans are unsure who to elect to the state Supreme Court. Among registered and likely voters, 39% say they are undecided. Dirk Sandifer, a longtime Cascade County District Judge, polled 30%, while Kristen Juras, a Great Falls attorney and former adjunct professor from the University of Montana, got 31%. The State Commissioner of Political Practices, Jonathan Modell, dismissed a campaign complaint Tuesday against the I-182 Medical Marijuana Ballot Committee, saying the campaign was properly set up and legally funded, as were made in late September by Safe Montana founder Steve Zabawa, claiming the group used dark money practices to fund its campaign. At a special listening session in Missoula this week, educators from around Montana expressed support for new legislation called the Every Student Succeeds Act, the goal of which is using more ground-up approach to federal education standards. The American League Championship Series continues after the Toronto Blue Jays avoided a 4-game sweep in a 5-1 win against the Cleveland Indians. Rich Hill, the other side of the Major League Baseball, Rich Hill worked 6 innings, and the Los Angeles Dodgers homered twice in a 6-2 rout of the Chicago Cubs in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Local news and regional news and sports for you, the mighty 790 AM, 94.7 FM, KGHL. I'm Livin Large.
Trained barber haircuts, Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights, the best $10 haircut ever. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, the official barber for the Livin Large Larry live show. Like him on Facebook, Jim and Austin's Barbershop up in Billings Heights. 2225 Main in the Heights, Jim and Austin's Barbershop. Proud supporters of the JC. The promise from Brown's Automotive in Billings to continue communications. It's been happening for over 60 years in Billings. Brown's Auto Service on Broadwater. Brown's West Auto Service, corner of Rosebud and 20th in Billings. 2 downtown locations of Brown's Automotive, the Automatic Transmission Company, 13th Street North and 1st Avenue North, and Brown's Rebuild Center downtown at 18th Street North and 2nd Avenue North. Brown's Automotive. BrownsAutoBillings.com. No disrespect to the industry, but there seems to be coupons for everything. And if you want the real coupon magazine, Hometown Values Coupon Magazine, a coupon book you can read, and practical couponing. Hometown Values, check them out. Different Hometown Values magazines for each part of the city. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. Log on to myhometownvalues.com.
Well, I'm a career military man that was looking for help with chronic pain due to early onset of arthritis. Without N2 cryotherapy, I would be in severe pain, trying to find something to help take care of the pain, and I already recommend it to everybody I can.
Stop living in pain and call N2 Cryotherapy today.
Livin' Large Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry Live.
What is going on around town? What's happening is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical, and Refinery Inspection. Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com.
Sandy McCaffrey with us, Blankets and Bears. Boy, Blankets and Bears is getting some notoriety with the mayor proclaiming Jersey Day for you this year, Sandy.
Yeah, wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That was a great thing, and because of that, we are still celebrating the Jersey Days on Mondays, and we have shout-outs from the TV stations on Sunday evenings, and yeah, we are doing some fun stuff on Mondays.
Well, tell us how Blankets and Bears works for Jersey Days first, since it's the rest of the NFL season anyway.
Just about like the Jeans Day, different businesses or employees, they want to wear a jersey on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They pay $1 in the pot, and at the end of the 16 week, they send us some money. And that money goes for some really needed fleece blankets or pillows or whatever we have a need for at the end of the season.
So before we get into what Blankets and Bears, your annual event coming up, briefly describe what Blankets and Bears is all about and what those bundles look like.
Blankets and Bears started in 2005 with just 7 children in the foster care division, and they had nothing to take with them to their new foster family. So we went out, and a couple friends of mine from our office bought them a brand new pillow and blanket, teddy bear, tied it up in a ribbon, and we call that a bundle. So in 2005, we delivered 7 children. Last year, we delivered 811 children here in our community that doesn't have anything to take tangible with them when they leave school and cold winter mornings.
And you have great sponsors and fantastic teams helping you with the bundles for Blankets and Bears, too. Speak of them a little bit.
This year, our big sponsor is called the Tenacious Dames. They're a ladies-only riding club, and they came together with us just about in February and asked if they could help run our big last event of the season, which is always in October. It's called the Blankets and Bears Bash. This year we're going to have it over at the Moose Lodge on Calhoun Lane. It is this Saturday, actually.
Right.
And over the last several months, the ladies have put together baskets for raffle and silent auction, and so many of the community has come together and donated stuff for the great big event coming up.
Tenacious Dames. They sound like they're a bunch of worker bees.
They are worker bees. You know, not to say anything bad about all the men out there that go out and do it, but you want something done, you ask a woman. Now, isn't that a cut?
Yeah, well, I agree with you. Yes, dear.
Absolutely. They're exploding this event. They were so excited to have the honor to sponsor Blankets and Bears this year. So that has kind of left me free to do so much other stuff that has to get done at the end of the year, making sure that we have our stuff in our storage and the pillows that are bought, and making sure that the blanket count is where it should be, and contacting the schools and make sure that we still have the right amount of kids. And so it really has freed me up, and I'm just so gracious to have them come on board, and I'm really excited about Saturday night. I hope you guys are going to be there, you and Carrie.
I have to actually DJ for the Billings Roller Derby Dames at the Shrine that same evening. Yeah, otherwise I'd be there for you. Normally I MC it for you. Yeah, we're just a swamp, but it'll still go on. So Blankets and Bears Bash, give us all the particulars, what time it starts. It's at the Moose Lodge you mentioned, but what time should we all show up?
Well, it starts at 5. I think by 6 o'clock, everyone's going to start really showing up and having something to eat. There's going to be different food venues out there. The band comes in at 7. It's called the Ticas or Tecas. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But there's a father-daughter duo from Great Falls, and they are going to play some really good dancing music. And so anyway, we're going to be there from about 5 to 11 that night with silent auctions, live auctions, raffles, dancing, just you name it. We're going to have a lot of fun.
All right, Moose Lodge Blankets and Bears Bash this coming Saturday, October 22nd. It's the date on that. And before we let you go, I want to make sure that you have ample opportunity to shout out to some of your major contributors and sponsors, if you would.
You know, we've had Sing Contracting has come on board. Outward Media, OMG Outward Media Group is coming on board with us. Cindy from Into Cryo.
Mm-hmm.
She's helped us out with this event and has donated a lot of stuff. We've had the CHS Laurel Refinery is coming with us. Some of the big coffee shops here in town. Just a lot of people just are so generous, Larry, in our community. I know you know this.
Yeah. Great community support, always Blankets and Bears, which is growing. So, all right, have a great time, Blankets and Bears Bash, coming up Saturday over the Moose Lodge. Sandy McCaffrey, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry. We'll talk to you soon.
It is remodeling time in your home or your office, and the windows are the most aesthetically pleasing area people look. The most important part of your home are your windows and your window treatments. All kinds of blinds and billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com with cellular blinds. The woven woods are available. Mini blinds of all sizes and styles and models. Talk to Bobby Gray at All Kinds of Blinds and ask about their security window film as well. All kinds of blinds and billings. All kinds of blindsmt.com. If you are interested in learning the current value of your home, the true current value, talk to Amber Gustanis with Century 21 Hometown Brokers for a free market analysis. Amber Gustanis, Century 21 Hometown Brokers for a free market analysis. 406-690-5902. What is going on around town? What's happening is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical, and Refinery Inspection. Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com.
Livin' Large Larry live from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry live.
What is going on around town? What's happening is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical, and Refinery Inspection. Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com.
Elbow Derek is visiting with us from the Billings Roller Derby Dames, BRDD. Hello, Elbow Derek.
Hey, Larry. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know you as Amber Gustanis, Realtor, Century 21.
Realtor extraordinaire, but I'm also pretty mean on the track.
So talk a bit, there's been a lot of circulation of stories, but talk a little bit about Billings Roller Derby Dames and how they're going to kind of merge with the other league in town, which is not the worst thing in the world, really.
No, it's not. It's actually pretty great for the Derby community to be able to keep roller derby alive in Billings. No one wants to see it go away, but it's really hard to field two teams when your numbers are kind of shrinking. So in order to preserve derby for the community, it's best that those that still want to skate kind of come together and make one team. So yeah,
that's going to be a different kind of a setup in 2017, but I think that as a derby fan, I'm looking forward to it. So Billings Roller Derby Dames at the Shrine, the final competitive bout for BRDD as such, against a pretty good club from Hellgate out of Missoula, coming to Billings at the Shrine on Saturday night.
Yeah, and it's kind of a grudge match. The last time we played those ladies, they won, and we're not happy about it.
Right.
So we're out for blood. We're going to prove that while we may be playing our last game, we still have a lot of fight left in us.
So the Shrine Auditorium, doors at 6, and the bout begins at 7. Give us ticket prices and things like that at the Shrine coming up Saturday.
Ticket prices are $10 in advance, $13 at the door. You can get tickets from any of your favorite Billings Roller Derby Dames. You can call me at 590-6902, and I'll even deliver them. You can go to the Shrine, they have them there as well.
And kids 12 and under are always free, correct?
That's correct.
Is that right, 12 and under?
Yeah, 12 and under, yeah.
That's a good deal. All right, there's drink there, there's food there as well, and looking forward to some good Billings roller derby action against Hellgates out of Missoula. And I've been hired by you guys to play DJ on your last bout. I'm so excited.
Oh, awesome. That'll be great. Hey, and we're also going to have some merchandise giveaway. I think we're going to have one of those T-shirt throw-outs. So if you don't have any BRDD stuff, now would be the time to get it, because pretty soon it'll just be vintage and collectible.
Final thoughts from Amber, Elbow Derrick, Billings Roller Derby Dames, leading up to Saturday's bouts. Give us your final thoughts.
My final thought is that this is going to be the best game yet, and if you haven't seen roller derby, you need to come out and see it. And if you have seen roller derby, you're not going to want to miss this one. It's going to be a great game.
At the Shrine, Saturday, October 22nd, doors at 6, bout begins promptly at 7. Thank you very much, Amber. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
What is going on around town? What's happening is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical, and Refinery Inspection. Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com. It seems everywhere you look, there's values, there's coupons for this, coupons for that. But if you want the true value, get hometown values. Get it? Well, it's mailed to your home. Thousands get the Hometown Values magazine, and it is the real size of a magazine. It's not the size of the palm of your hand. And look through it. Practical items, Hometown Values for each section of our area. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. It's probably on your counter right now, by the way, or your mailbox. Log on to myhometownvalues.com. Trained barber haircuts, Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights, the best $10 haircut ever. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, the official barber for the Livin Large Larry live show. Like him on Facebook, Jim and Austin's Barbershop up in Billings Heights. 2225 Main in the Heights, Jim and Austin's Barbershop. Proud supporters of the JCs.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Meth outpaces marijuana. I'm Livin Large Larry, KGHL News. Methamphetamine outpaced marijuana as the most common drug found in addition to alcohol in DUI samples sent to the state crime lab last year. But alcohol remains the most prevalent substance found in DUI toxicology cases. Marijuana used to be the most common substance after alcohol found in DUI blood test. But in 2015, meth became more common for the first time. Monday, the U.S. Department of Education announced that America's high school graduation rate has reached a record high of 83.2%. Montana's record high graduation rate of 86% is nearly 3% points above the national average. In addition, the number of dropouts in Montana is down by a third. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is reopening the public comment period on a proposed rule to list the North American wolverine as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. The 30-day public comment period closes on November 17th. It's been almost a year since Cypress Creek Renewables reached an agreement to sell electricity generated from 17,000 solar panels on a 60-acre parcel east of Missoula to Northwestern Energy. But there are still no panels and no solar power. And at least 5 other projects around Montana are in similar stages. The projects are fully permitted, approved, and are now in detailed engineering design. Once they're up and running, they'll receive $66 per megawatt hour for 25 years. The Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Commission has unanimously approved the agency's 2017 brucellosis work plan. It includes hazing, limited fencing, limited lethal removal, and habitat modifications in order to keep exposed elk away from cattle. And sports, the Cleveland Indians have a 3-game-to-none lead in the AL Championship Series after their bullpen tossed 8 in the third innings to lead a 4-2 victory at Toronto. The Indians went through 6 relievers. One starter, Trevor Bauer, had to leave the game due to a cut on his pinky finger of his pitching hand. Jason Kipnis broke a 2-2 tie with a solo homer in the 6th after Mike Napoli supplanted a solo shot and a ribby double in his first 2 at-bats. Look at Montana. And regional news and sports. The mighty 790 AM, 94.7 FM, KGHL. I'm Livin Large Larry.
The biggest high school football game in the Billings area tonight will take place on the turf in Laurel as 5th-ranked Billings Central goes up against the Trainmen. The winner of this game will claim 2nd place in the mighty Eastern A Conference. They'll also host a first-round playoff game next weekend. Both teams are 5-2 on the year. The Rams of Billings Central have won their last 14 games against Laurel. The last time Laurel won at home in the series, you have to go all the way back to September 18th of 1999 when the Trainmen won 55-0. Elsewhere, top-ranked Billings Senior will host 1-8 Billings Skyview at Wendy's Field. Win or lose, Senior will be the number 1 seed in the AA football playoffs. 2nd-ranked Billings West is at Great Falls High. It's game number 60 in that series. Great Falls leads 31-28, but Billings West has won the last 11. The Golden Bears of West High only loss this year came against crosstown rival Billings Senior. In the Bears' last 3 games, they forced 16 turnovers. The Bison of Great Falls High have a win-loss record on the year of just 1-7, but they've lost 3 games by only a single point, including losing the longest game in AA football history, 42-41, 4 overtimes to Flathead. By the way, that contest was father against son. Mark Sampson is the head coach in Great Falls. His son Kyle is the coach at Flathead. To Class B, top-ranked 7-0 Huntley Project will wrap up the regular season with a game against the Shepherd Mustangs. College football Saturday, right here on AM 790 KGHL. Kickoff time is set for noon as the Montana State Bobcats attempt to snap their 4-game losing streak with a home game up against the 3rd-ranked team in the nation, Eastern Washington. The Eagles of Eastern Washington are 5-1 overall. They're a perfect 3-0 in the Big Sky. They're also the top passing team in the nation, averaging 433 passing yards a game. For the 7th-ranked Montana Grizzlies, they're on the road with a game at 3-4 in Northern Arizona. The Grizz lead in the series against the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona, 35-13. The Battle in the Bears of Rocky will try to make it a sweep against the Saints of Carroll College. Back on September 10th at home, Rocky came from behind to defeat Carroll 21-20. Now the last win for Rocky in Helena, September 2nd of 2000. The last time Rocky got a sweep against the Saints, that was back in 1998. For KGHL Sports, this is Rocky Erickson.
N2 Cryotherapy, Billings' own pain management and athletic recovery center, is now offering monthly memberships. Unlimited cryo sessions at one low monthly price. Clients are experiencing stress relief, better sleep, and increased energy after one 3-minute session. Get your membership started today. Stop in at 805 24th Street West, number 4, or call 534-8850 for details. Discover what it's like to be cool at N2 Cryo. Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Our replay sponsor on Livin Large Larry Live is brought to you by Keystone Mortgage in their new location, 248-7124. And you can check them out and visit them at 2442 First Avenue North. They're right across from the pub station in downtown Billings. Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number. You're our number 1 priority. Keystone Mortgage.
Our community segment with Mayor Tom Hanel, and it's definitely now a week here on KGHL. You mentioned the top part of this talk with you about the fact that we've had plenty of moisture the last several weeks. We had kind of what I call an early snowfall. I talked to Ed McIntosh from Q2 last week, and he says really the snowfall is not that surprising, it being in October, but city business with regards to snow plows, I assume the city is ready for an onslaught of snow this winter.
Oh, absolutely, Larry. We've been going through our equipment during the off-season, getting everything in top shape and ready to go. We're lining up our crews, scheduling, and knowing that winter is right around the corner and the time's going to come that they need to be ready at any given time to be called out and go to work.
A couple of days ago, on Monday, was there some kind of a city council business meeting?
We had a work session this week. Very progressive meeting. We had a tremendous amount of issues, quarterly reports that were brought to our attention, reported on, and of course update on the One Big Sky Center. That seems to be a hot topic of discussion. And the quarterly reports had to do with specifically the TIF districts, how successful they have been and continue to be. And even with the TIF in place, what revenue is generated through those improvements, the existing revenue from the tax base seems to be quite strong and healthy. And I must say, Larry, that there has been a tremendous amount of productivity, a lot of jobs created, structures that have been built and revamped with the use of TIF funds. So it's a great program, seems to be doing very well.
And the Big Sky Center, so far moving forward on that project, there's still a good, optimistic talk?
You know, we're very hopeful. Yes, it's something we would love to see have happen. As many people have said, if we can get this thing going and built, it is just the beginning. You'll see a lot of things follow the suit and just a lead into the future, if you wish, for the downtown, but for Billings and also for the state of Montana. So we're very optimistic. We'd like to see this happen. It would be a real plus. However, the big key is funding. We're just waiting to see how that's going to all shake out and how the funding is going to come together. And certainly if the developers have the funds available to proceed.
And we're a couple of weeks away from the big vote, I've been calling it. Your thoughts, and speak about voting coming up on November 8th.
Well, my first thought, and I think this is probably a very common thought of many people, is let's get it over with. We're tired of it. But at the same time, it is extremely important. And of course, I always urge people to get out and vote. It may not be the most pleasing experience, and in this particular year, I've heard a lot of people say, I'm not sure who to vote for. I may not vote. And that's the worst thing you can do, is not vote. You need to do your research. Try to make the best judgment call that you can. Vote for the person that you think would do the best job, and be a good citizen, exercise your right. You certainly don't want to be one of those that has any type of absentee voting record, meaning that you failed to vote at any given time. It's one of our privileges. It's a right we have. You need to get out and exercise that.
Mayor Tom Hanel with us for our community segments, and the run of mayor with Mayor Tom Hanel. When does that end? And are you feeling it yet?
Larry, that's a very good question. I actually have through the end of 2017, so about a year and 3 months remaining in my term. Of course, this being my second term and two-term limit. So yes, I will be termed out. I'll be done, and I can only say that I hope we get some citizens. We have more than one to choose from that show an interest and desire, want to be the mayor. What they need to understand is you're just one of 11, and you're there to work together to make it better for all of our citizens. That if you think you're going to come about and make any huge, significant changes, that's probably not going to happen.
And over the years, I got to say that, I've been in Billings off and on for, it's about 15, 20 years. And I think we've had a pretty good run of some good mayors in this town, including your reign, Mayor Hanel.
Well, Larry, thank you. And I have to agree with you. I think we've been very fortunate. One thing I never do is criticize a predecessor.
Right.
And I think they've done a fine job. And no matter how good you think you are at whatever it is you're doing, I'm here to tell you there's always someone that can do better. And there's always someone that might do it a little different and look at things from a different perspective. So I've enjoyed it immensely. I'm going to miss it sincerely. I try not to think about it coming to an end because I don't want it to, but at the same time, I'll be there to help whomever is elected to get off to a good start, answer any questions that may be of help to them, and wish them the very best for future success of our city.
All right, good talk. Mayor Tom Handel, our community segment, and we wish you well. This weekend, hopefully we'll see you and Robin out at the PRCA, part of Nile Weekend, the rodeo this weekend. Carrie and I will be out there.
Well, I'm sure we probably will. We look forward to it. Maybe we'll see you yet this evening. You know, I did declare today with a proclamation Pink Day in Billings, Montana. Of course,
Perfect.
This evening is Act the Place in Pink out at Skyview High School,
yep.
which is always a great event, this being the 10th annual. And the results from those gatherings have just been astronomical. The financial assistance, the awareness, specifically in the area of breast cancer. There's been a lot of women that have been able to benefit from this. And if nothing else, it's brought our community together in many ways. And as I say, the awareness, the education is a key element. The money is a bonus. And I look forward to the event this evening. And I'll be out there to present the proclamation to the staff there at Skyview High School, and look forward to seeing all of our attendees in pink. It'll be a great event.
And I was very humbled to be asked by the American Cancer Society just a couple of months ago to represent radio, Billings radio announcers, and I've got my own little fundraising going on for Real Men Wear Pink all October long. You'll see me in multiple pink outfits on social media, Facebook and like that, challenging people to send me pink items, and Taco Treats stepped up to donate some money on tacos they sell during the month of October, and it's been a fun campaign. I even fit into, a listener dropped by, a pink pair of Tinker Bell pajama shorts. I put them on. I got them on, and it's all over social media.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Larry. And, I've got my pink bracelet here, this stretch bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it on for several years. Actually, put it on the first year I was elected mayor and helped with the Act the Place in Pink. And I still have it on, the same one. And it's getting a little thin, but I'm very proud to display it in support of our all of our ladies that have suffered this terrible disease. And there are men also, but at
Right.
the same time, to help bring this awareness to the forefront.
And keep it going. Mayor Tom Handel, appreciate the thoughts and the words today, and you have a great week into the weekend.
You too. Thank you, Larry.